Hello. Good freaking morning. I am getting ready and I'm super fucking annoyed because it's like every single day that I wake up, I have to literally blow out a whole gallon of snot out of my nose before I can even leave my house. And I'm just done with it because it is every single morning. And then this morning, it like really caused me to be really like pukey because that shit, no one wants to swallow a whole bunch of mucus in the morning, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's so repetitive. I'm like, I think there's a literal surgery where they can like literally stop all the drainage from you. I have to literally get it done. I do have autism, okay, folks? So the only difference between Down syndrome and autism is literally one gene, okay? So, do you know how a lot of people with Down syndrome are constantly always having like a drippy off, like mucousy nose and stuff? Oh. Okay, well, literally, like it's me too, and I'm seriously I'm actually over it. Either way, shit. Try not to make it a big deal. So, the other day, I was trying to do that 2-day live challenge, and literally, since I was driving, playing music, they threw me off. Okay, now that I've literally blown my fucking nose for an hour, I think I'm ready to start fucking getting ready. I literally do hate that. I fucking hate it so much. It's just every morning I literally have to lose a literal gallon of fucking snot out of my nose before I can fucking do anything. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, I'm still upset that I do not have a fucking Uber light for my car. Because I've seen people with purple, green, red, blue. And I have zero. I have none. Okay, so on Uber, you can literally, I'm waiting for them to sponsor me. They're shouting me out, big shout outs. They're giving me huge shout outs on Facebook, but let's get a sponsor, please. Literally, please work for Uber because they are the only delivery company who allows you to have benefits when you work for them full time. So, anyone who cares, this is like my 4th, 5th day of like no shower hair. I usually go a while. I always try to brush like the natural oils through my head because guys, ladies, whoever, it is the best thing that you can actually do to your hair instead of putting that rosemary fucking tea tree oil or whatever. I'm literally just annoyed today because of my nose, like having to fucking blow all the snot out. I'm just sick of it because it's like I feel like I can't be pretty because I'm always like blowing my nose. Who can be pretty? Ah! Sorry, there was lotion on my hands. I thought it was snot. Okay. But yeah, the less you wash the hair, the better. Everyone knows that, right? You can hear the snot. So, if you're new here, welcome. And if you're back, welcome back, bitch. You can hear all that snot. That whippy hair back and forth just made me so sick. Sorry, I had to get off the camera just to make sure I can blow my nose and like not gross people out. So listen, today I'm gonna be hardball, and usually I'm not. Usually I'm lighthearted. Usually, you know, I do a pretty damn good job of keeping like my personal life out of this shit because it is not your all fucking problem, right? Redo. Okay, literally, I just got done boiling water. I was boiling, just kidding. I turned the hot water on in the bathroom. Okay? And I was just like literally holding the hot water, okay? Like boiling the fucking nasal nostrils of my nose to hopefully see if like all the mucus would just come out. I even have one of them saline things where you push all of it on one side, you know, but I'm half tempted to do it because I can't walk around with all the snot coming out of my head, and it's like I can't. Anyway, we're gonna get serious. So I have, this past year, hold on, I would say whenever I started the divorce process has literally been the darkest days of my life. But essentially, this is how slow, guys, it takes me to process shit, because I'm autistic as all get out. And let's just quickly, as we're gonna get a little heavy here, go into a little fun fact about our duo here that you can get right on TikTok shop, okay? Not only that, side note, ladies, you can literally get this. It's like $5 at Target, okay? Target. Okay, so this serum, this hyaluronic acid serum, which the sound of it, you would be like, this is not good for my face. No. All balls to the walls. This stuff is literally Botox in a bottle. If I have to put it simply, since I finally blown my nose enough, okay, every time I use this, I make it a part of my daily skin routine in the morning, because whenever I do use it, I'll show you, it literally feels like it's tightening the, like, my skin. So, and I get super dry, like my skin is, oh, that burn right there, real talk. Oh, it's okay, so then you just really make sure, okay, you can get this at TikTok shop. You can get 2 of these for a 10% discount. I will put my promotional link here, link down below. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and get this duo, and it comes with 2, and if you're like me, you want to keep these serums around. And this has been one of my fan faves, I'm not gonna lie. It's zinc. It is all like natural ingredients, and that's what I love about it. Do I actually eat a full-time vegan diet? No, but if I had a personal chef, I would. Okay. But I'm always just putting it on too. Serums are just like the most important part of moisturizer. Okay, so then you just really make sure, okay, you can get this at TikTok shop. You can get 2 of these for a 10% discount. I will put my promotional link here, link down below. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and get this duo, and it comes with 2, and if you're like me, you want to keep these serums around. And this has been one of my fan faves, I'm not gonna lie. It's zinc. It is all like natural ingredients, and that's what I love about it. Do I actually eat a full-time vegan diet? No, but if I had a personal chef, I would. Okay. But I'm always just putting it on too. Serums are just like the most important part of moisturizer. Okay, so let me stop running around the reality of what I planned on speaking about with you guys. Essentially, there was a big orchestrated theatrical moment at my daughter's school. The guardian ad litem was there, my lawyer, his lawyer. It was heavy. I wear all white, guys. Insert the day. Here. Insert right here, Kaylee. It's Kaylee with the K. Okay? Guys, you don't even want to know. So, I wore all white to her. It was a orchestra concert. So, usually, you know, like, you're looking pretty, you know, not like cash. I mean, you're looking pretty fancy. Like, we're going on the fucking Titanic, right? So, I did, ironically, just, like, I wore all white, and that day I found out in the gym that my daughter's father has early onset dementia, and he's 33. And there was a moment where the guardian ad litem had to speak, and this was after my daughter had already like played the violin, so like this is the aftermath effect, okay? But it was said outwardly to the whole gym in my daughter's school that they had enough evidential proof now to help me gain 100% custody because there is evidential proof that I have Stockholm Syndrome. So whenever that was, you know, said aloud in the gym in front of everybody, my defense mechanism, I totally was just like, okay, well, you're just as dead to me, Jack, as that fucking reptile I got whenever I did live in Florida, and he's dead now, bye-bye. Like, me and my daughter, we got a new heat lamp, and it did not suit Jack, the gecko, the leopard gecko. R.I.P. We were devastated, you know, either way. Her lawyer, my daughter's lawyer, the guardian ad litem, his name was Jack. He also goes by John, and he literally is in the Clayton, side of town. Okay, I'm in Southside. Essentially, it was the most like heaviest like moment in my life, and also my daughter's, because whenever you just like, and not only that, just everything that has kind of like led me to that direct point has been so overwhelming, almost even with like the Holy Spirit. It's just kind of like another coincidental, okay, let's get our gains here. I need to caffeinate, guys. I'm already falling asleep. But yes, so ordinary, get to do, okay, don't forget about it. Literally, the reason I was only red because I literally have to blow my nose all the time. But this makes me look so healthy that I'm usually confident enough not to wear makeup, but today we're just gonna be kind of like feeling a little bit better about ourselves. So cheers. Drink some energy with me. Don't drink too many because it kills people. Okay, so basically just like fact to know, I was working at Haven Memory Care whenever I literally had to be oppressed by the Missouri State Courthouse. Okay, so they made me move from Florida to St. Louis. Here I am in Southside, because I wasn't really technically allowed to relocate my daughter because the abuse was not excessive enough. So I had, you know, I was still at that point, at that time, I was in hardcore survival mode, so I intermittently just quickly got the nice ass job at Haven Memory Care. I was making close to, you know, $36 an hour. I stayed there for close to 6 months, got fired because I went off and I was just kind of doing really dumb shit in that era. I was in my fuck around and find out era. But my, there was a resident there, and I'm so thankful that the family, the day of, whenever she had to go in her body bag, yeah, way to see that shit. I had to see that shit. That was not okay. The family stayed there, and they were all like giving me just so much love and respect, you know, and that was just so much, that meant so much to me. Because to work in a place like that, you have to really be a trooper, and it doesn't come easy. But essentially, my first day working there, one of my favies, her name is Trinity. You guys probably see her, like, you know, she'll pop up here and there. But I do have high respect for her, and she's important to me. But that day, no names here, but the resident, I got to see her for the first time, and it was just excruciatingly devastating, and a lot of that, you know, disheartenment is out of all the, I would say, care partners' control, and a lot of the med techs, everybody involved, okay? But I just don't think it had good management. R.I.P. But essentially, her chart, my favorite resident, okay, per se, she ended up basically having severe traits of Stockholm Syndrome, and I was the only employee to get her out of her bedroom and into the sunroom at a point, watching me play piano, got her to eat a couple bites of food. I got so close to her, and it's just coincidental, you know, so that's why I bring it up before the whole gym moment, because she did have traits of Stockholm Syndrome. She was Christian, or sorry, she was Catholic. She was, I think I looked up to her, or just like enjoyed her, because this lady, she was just the most modest woman I think I've ever met in my life. And it was absolute hell seeing her laying in the bed just depressed out of her mind. Because that's really what was going on. And it's almost like Bearthaven has so many residents, like I would say close to 200, okay? Essentially, and it's like basically being at a library, and she was just like that dusty book that got forgotten about. So I literally, whenever I had the chance of like taking care of her, it was like my last day of training because she was at the end of the hall. She just became my full-time priority. And after that loss, I was shortly fired. Coincidental fact, but even in the gym, I was still defending the person that abused me for so long in my life, and now I'm capable of knowing how to respectfully and responsibly talk about something that has been for the last decade of my life. So, I never had any like parental figure around really ever in my life. And I was always doing like every single sport known to man, okay? Color guard is a sport, okay? Listen, if you can break a nose, it's a sport. You can break a nose with that shit, okay? So it was just his family, my daughter's father's whole family, and me, and all of our lawyers were literally on the other side. But listen, like, we closed our court case. All of these lawyers went out of their way, or maybe this school had informed, because whenever you have this kind of case, like its school is made aware. So essentially, like, he could have been having either way. There could have been a phone call of concern for some reason to like her schedule. Let's just say like both me and Tim were actually I'll be real, we're taking Penny to school late. I had literally just moved from Florida to here, so I was in like a really hard transitional phase. Yeah, I'm an adult, I'm taking my accountability, and he still hasn't been helping me really financially. He helped me financially one time, shout out to you, Tim, thank you, but I did all the holidays, I did all of the bills, I did all of the consistency. I was the parent who led by example, not by word of mouth. Okay, my ladies, so if you do have a little, if your nose runs like mine does, get this stuff. It's like, because you see how I'm all red? If you don't want it to get chapped and stuff, use this. Guys, they put a whole bunch of stuff in, I no longer buy chapstick because they put addictive shit in it that makes you just never actually heal. Like, usually whenever your lips are chapped, you are dehydrated, you need water. Or it's like, weather, I don't know. So, and really, whenever I walked to the gym before the concert started, there was nowhere to sit. I'm like super antisocial because of my autism, so like whenever I walked into the gym, I saw all the faces, I'm just like looking down at the ground, and then I see Tim. He already texted me before I got in there. He's like, hey, I got a spot for you in here. Right? So I go in there, I sit down. The first thing I say to him, because he was always kind of like one who just did not respond well to like big group settings. So I could already tell he's already like on fucking cloud 100 because of that. His dad is like a really high strung person, and I could tell he was. I was like, what? I said, it's hot in here. Literally, whenever I sat down, and the principal came in and she said, sorry, we don't have the microphone today, but please try to listen closely and let's enjoy this goddamn concert. That's not what she said, but I do love her. So, let's get back on track. Essentially, like, there was it just zoomed in. There was like a couple that were directly, like, sitting behind us, and this guy was, like, picking on Penelope's father and his brother, okay? So the brother does have diagnosed schizophrenia / autism, and the father, we were just informed, and his mother just informed me, and the father, the dad that day in the gym, that Tim has early onset dementia. Because whenever that guy was picking on Tim and Jeff, like, it's because, like, they were unresponsive. Tim was in a lucid moment. Literally, you can ask she was my sister-in-law. She was there, and she was the only cognitive, like, had her head on right, like, human being, I think, besides the parents. Like, Tim and Jeff have caused so much, just, like, abuse to themselves that, like, I don't know, if they're the quite literal definitions of, like, mental, and, like, seeing them is a struggle. So to me, like, whenever the dude, that fucking couple, was, like, picking on him, I was, like, totally taken back by it, and I didn't respond well to that shit. So I started being a cunt to them. And then there was a whole fiasco in, like, the gym. That's my daughter. I was going the fuck off. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, there's guardian ad litem. The principal at a point said, Kaylee, what would you do if I informed you that the guardian ad litem that you did have on a case before is in this gym right now? And I said, if that were the case, I would literally tell you that he would probably want to run for the fucking hills, because I have enough receipts and knowledge to literally, didn't go to criminal justice law school, but I do know that he can lose his fucking lawyer license. And it was confirmed, you know, like, so then my lawyer, you know, her and I weren't saying, because I'm looking at her like, I still have the threads, do you still have it? She's like, oh yeah, I do, honey. And I'm like, you know what I mean? But, like I said, they're working, doing their job. Someone could have called because of, like, reason of concern for Penelope, and I was over there defending, like, people who have fucking... So, literally, there's a moment where the guardian ad litem had said, we now have enough evidential proof and evidence to get 100% custody for you, get you back in Florida, and case closed. And literally, like, his I could tell, like, right off the bat, his family wasn't happy about it, and it's just disheartening, because I always just wish that they would just trust the fact that I would never take love away from Penelope. I was making Tim literally go see you guys more than, like, dude, I was literally taking care of that fucking family for you guys, literally for a whole ass decade loyally, and I was trying to ask for help, and you guys didn't fucking help me. So the fact that now that man has early onset dementia, and he is now your full-time problem, that's your fucking karma. I mean, like, I love them still, that's the thing, like, don't take this, because, you know, I think that they were literally trying to do the best that they can as adults, and that's just kind of where their eggs fell. So now I sit here, and I'm finally healed, and I've finally done so much work for myself that, you know, it did take me quite a while to process everything that happened in the gym that day, but school's literally starting, and I have my goal. I have to literally save another $2,500. I've literally put $27,000 of my own hard work money into the divorce, right, which that's been finalized, but it's like I have to literally, because Jack said you can have full custody, all this, that, and the other, but I have to literally pay another $2,500, and it's like that man was literally begging, praying that I do. But I mean, if anyone knows early onset dementia, okay, or the acts of alcohol abuse, whenever alcoholism is progressive, okay, and whenever you have, like, dementia doesn't go away. I mean, I literally have been working in it for close to 10 years. I have specialized in memory care. I am not Jesus Christ, but I think the fact that that man has early onset dementia is some kind of karmic fucking, you know, currency that was given karmically. But ultimately, what the point is I have to hurry up, get ready, and go Uber, and literally come up with $2,500, you know, like that, in thin air. Like, everyone knows who actually does Uber. Like, do you know how long that's actually gonna, like, dude, I'm just saying, like, people. I am proud of myself for this video because I was always one who never knew how to ever speak about anything at all. Actually, the only reason I learned how to talk is because there was a little box, like television, in my four walls, okay? Never had any guardianship, never had any mom say, this is what mad, sad, happy, you know, blah looks like, this is what it means, like nothing, okay? I didn't have that. No emotional regulation. I was not taught shit. So I learned how to talk through watching all of the Disney movies on a VCR tape, literally on that little box TV. That's how I learned how to talk, because no one was reading books to me. Like literally, ooh, there we go. So I was also at a point, like I had to go on the small bus, and the parental figures in my life were making fun of me for it. And I still at that point was wishing I knew how to read. There was one just dark day that I was on the actual biological father's custody time template, and so I remember just sitting out because he was drunk as fuck. He was with a new girl from Megan. She had the son Isaiah, not Micah, but we were spinning out in a Mustang, like on the snow, like just by our apartment complex, just because like they were young, they were in love, okay. But I remember just finally getting annoyed by watching them make out, so I was like sitting in the metal staircase, you know, and I saw a shooting star, and I remember wishing that I knew how to read, and at that age, I think I was close to 7 to 8 years old. So there was a time I had to do speech class, and then I was put on like medication. I just remember the mother was giving me, you know, Adderall, right? And then I would go over to my father's house on the weekend, and he was giving me Klonopin. For me to be alive right now is a blessing, and I do not take life for granted. But I am, you know, coming close to 30 years old. I'm 29, and I finally now have the understanding and know-how of knowing how to communicate whenever pressing issues like this arise. But that is the disheartening true fact of maybe why I ended up having a child at such a sweet tender age, okay? Nobody is perfect, but I try every single day to improve myself. So Penelope doesn't, you know, it's like I'm the parent who can't fuck up because her dad ruined his life, you know? So it's like, I even feel like I have like this extra like responsibility. It's like I am not allowed to fuck up because I'm all she has. And yeah, guys, it's been a very hard time in our lives, especially for her. Oh, so all I can really do is stay focused, put one foot in front of the other, and make this money, stay on my grind, and make sure that I get her out of there, you know. I want Penelope to regularly see her grandma, their extended family, you know. She actually, like, whenever she does see her father, she is literally under the household of Kathy. Okay? Like, Kathy's, like, literally the one, you know, who pays all the bills because her dad don't even have a car. Really, I think, like, he might be sharing a phone plan, or Kathy's phone, because he don't even have a phone now. I don't know how much that man needs to lose to be able to quantify that he has failed as a man, but, you know, that's probably my opinion. Either way, I was defending his, Tim's family. We're fully divorced, but I was, in that gym moment, I was literally defending him and his whole family in some weird way that I can't even explain. So it is heavy, but like I said, I'm not gonna let it, you know, ruin my day, because it's like I said, I can't be the one who fucks up. But any advice? Because I mean, like, to my significant other, there was a moment I was like, you know, I think I'm just finally at a point in my life, just with what I'm dealt, where I'm like, I'm reaching out for support because I'm like, this is really hard, you know? And I just think that for anybody, if you're going through something that is just you, or you just need a helping hand. For someone who didn't have the luxury of having the tools, of knowing how to talk, so whenever I was sexually abused or neglected, I didn't know how to talk about it. So don't listen to any judgment. However you get your message out, be goddamn proud that you get enough courage to do it. I already know life is literally going to beat the living fuck out of you and you will fall. Okay? But I will only ever judge you when you rise. Just fun facts about me. I need to make this bread. Turn my fan back on. I was giving you a little bit of time this morning of me. Please subscribe to my channel if you want me to be a therapist. We're keeping that on, but that look cool. No, really, on a real note, if you ever feel alone or just in a bad mental space, please reach out to me. Because I don't want my sisters and brothers to feel that way. Sorry I'm being so heavy, guys. Okay, so I'm going to turn my fan back on, get ready, and just show you tidbits of my day, okay? And me and Penny, it just sucks that, like, you really can't bring minors on lives, because, like, I'm just being a mom. Like, I just want to, you know, show you guys, like, the fucking in and outs of, like, our fucking, like, cool art projects, you know? Because, like, I literally in the next, like, a Picasso. But also, if there's any lawyers, if there's anyone who has the authority or knows things about this kind of shit, this case that I'm in, this family court case, okay? Please PM me and give me your best fucking shot because I need a new lawyer.